That's good.
Welcome to the second day.
Welcome back. Awesome.
Yes, we are back. This is Apostle Yomi and Kemi Onadipe.
Yeah.
Sharing our love story with you. Yesterday was awesome, wonderful. To the glory of God. It was the first time talking about, our love life, talking about our background. So I think it was a good feeling.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, I felt really good. It brought me to memory lane. I began to reflect on a lot of things. God has been so good to us. And for those who are single, wait for God's time. Allow God to do it for you. God works in diverse ways. Don't put your mind only on one way. That is, I want dream, I want vision, or this or that, or God did it for Mr. X like this. Just be open, okay, and the Lord will do it.
So we are going to go deeper into how we met.
Yes.
Whether it's through you got your confirmation from dream or everything you tell us today. And I'm also going to try as much as possible to share mine and make it very, very short. We hope that we'll make everything short and we'll round up in 30 minutes. That's the promise we give. If it can be a bit more, but we want to make sure we do it as quickly as possible. We thank God for today. This has been the second day. I want to thank all of you joining us, those who joined us yesterday. Remember that you need to share every day. You share with us every day. Share on your social media platforms. Tag as many people as possible. We have people watching you, and those people are the one that will be able to choose the winner at the end of the 31 days. And we believe that many people will be getting so many nuggets from our sharing and also from our experience, because it's really, really important that we share so that someone can get blessed. And I said yesterday, I said marriage is not bed of roses. It's not easy at all, but God factor in it has actually made it easy. So we are not coming here to paint picture that everything has just been fine. We don't fight, we don't argue, we don't know. We've got so many things to share with you. So today we are going to start telling our story from our background yesterday that we talked about. Today we're going to talk about singlehood. That point where we know that is a stage. Everybody must pass through that singlehood before you get married, before you become, before you change your status and become married. And that area, many singles struggle. Many singles struggle. So let me start from myself. You begin to think of partner when you think you're ready for marriage, really. But when you are single, it's a phase that you need to be whole, you need to enjoy, and you need to know that that time you serve God, just like the Bible says, it is the best time to serve God. And I thank God that I gave my life to Christ when I was in Polytechnic. So when I gave my life to Christ, I was soaked in the things of God. I was in about 4 departments in my church then. It's a big church, but I was noticeable, not for bad, but for my activity, my service in the church. I was in even the cleaning department that most people, sanctuary care, that many people wouldn't want to join. I was in sanctuary care. At some point, I joined the intercessory department. I was in welcoming team, smile and welcome people to the church. I was just everywhere. I was in drama as well. I know if I don't remember this, Sister Vic will remind me, because I acted in some of the playlets in the church. I remember I acted Pastor Mrs. in one of them. So when I gave my life to Christ, then I finished from Polytechnic and I went to serve. All this time, I was not really thinking of settling down at that time. I wanted to make money. What was on my head as a young single lady was how to make it, how to be successful, how to make name for myself, without even thinking of the person coming or the person I'm going to join. I was planning as if, okay, let me just be doing my thing. And when the man now comes, yeah, fine. So I wasn't seeing myself. I wasn't praying every day, God, bring the husband. I have not gotten to that level at all before God did it. I was just a single lady who still have so much to do, like so much activities. Yeah. I was into business. So when I served in Gombe, my plan was to establish there. I served in First Bank because my father was a banker. So I was planning to establish myself in Gombe State. And I was already looking at businesses that I can do between Gombe and the Ibadan. Thank you. I was already bringing some things in, sell, and even I will sell everything and they will collect the one in my hand. People will still buy the used bags. I sell souvenirs bags that made by Sister Vic. So I will still tell you how I met Sister Vic. So what am I trying to say? I enjoyed the time I was single because I was really, really, when I discovered Christ, I was soaked in it. Before, it was a struggle because people wanted to take advantage, or many people actually wanted to take advantage. God still helped me scale through some, but I was taken advantage of most of the time, possibly my look, and I don't know. I just, you find yourself falling into wrong hands because of your look and all that. So at the end of the day, coming to Christ, it's like Christ just shield me and take me away from those negative people that would have taken advantage of you. I remember I was in a relationship. One man said, "Can't you look at her? Isn't she beautiful to behold?" That talking to me as if I was just a chair or a beautiful furniture that somebody will use to decorate a house. That's not the kind of relationship you want to be with, where somebody will just reduce you to an object. Yes. So I thank God because I discovered Christ at the right time, and it's really wonderful. I enjoyed my singlehood because we act drama during the night. We meet in the church in Singlehood midnight. That's when we practice drama that we are going to act on Sunday in the church. So there wasn't anything like, where are you going? What are you doing? When you get married, you have to tell your spouse you're going out. Yeah. But that's why I would advise singles, the best time to serve God and without distraction is when you are single. Yeah. So if you are not serving God back to back now, I'm not saying serving God and not socializing, serving God and not, having friends, or no. We serve God and you still find time to socialize. Even in the church there are so many programs. I remember our own time, they do singles seminar, singles conferences, we go. So don't just be serving God and any brother that now comes, you get angry, send them away. When it's time to settle down, it might be challenging because those people that you should have been close to get to know you better, you didn't give them chance. So I want Apostle to tell me, that's my own part of, singlehood. In Nigeria. He was in Italy. So tell us.
Yeah, I left Nigeria when I was 21, and today I'm 52. That's 31 years abroad. Was at that time, the first 6 years, the first 8, 9 years was really rough because I wasn't womanizing, though I wanted to, but I was soaked in the things of God. There is no place I go, I must find a church where I will be part of. So that really helped me. So I was, as soon as I got my driving license, I bought a car, I was picking people to church. I take them back home. So that was the kind of evangelism I was doing then. So those things were really, really taking my time. It's job, church, home, church, home, like that. And at the time I was after I left Italian church, I was attending Deeper Life. So I was so busy over there until I myself started I mean, everybody around me started getting married until I remained the only one. At that point, I didn't fit into all my friends and colleagues at work. Then the pressure of getting married started coming so much. Then I look around me, my friends, I mean, the Ancona where I live, a lot of people were working and most people were married. So I didn't see somebody that I really want. So at a point, I wanted to marry an Italian. It did not work out. So I said, let me go to Nigeria. And I have only about a month to go to Nigeria. And that's month of August. If you can't find anybody that time, you have to come back till next August.
Wow. Please leave your question on the chat.
Yeah.
Or send it to email. We will address it. If not today, we address it tomorrow, first thing, by God's grace. So,
year after year like that, I was meeting disappointment. Either there is no much time to find someone, or if the person you find, you don't fit in, or the person you find, the parents don't want it. So I became so frustrated at a particular point.
Wow. So let me now share how it's getting interesting, because I want to share now how we met, how we crossed each other's path. The time I gave my life to Christ, I said I was in the church.
Yeah.
Do I say engaged? Not really engaged, but because of my, how do I call myself now? Because of the fact that I'm involved in so many activities, you could easily notice me. And I was going about with a ring in my hand. I was going about with a ring in my hand because that ring, I brought it from before I gave my life to Christ, and I was still holding on to it. So at some point, I backslided. I backslided because the person I was in relationship with would not give up on me. And it wasn't in Nigeria. I don't know why this like. I wasn't in Nigeria, but he came home and I couldn't escape him. So when he came, I left church for like 2-3 weeks. And that time I left church was the time that my pastor was looking for me. And I was thinking, when I came back to church, then they said I have no, is it I have a letter, or I want to remember, I have email. No, before the email, my pastor was looking for me. When they say pastor was looking for me, I went to meet my pastor, and he said, where have you been? Where have you been? I've not seen you in church for weeks now. So for your pastor to notice that you're not in church, in a big church, you must have really been committed. So I don't know what people are doing these days, that they go to church and they're telling you, I don't care, I just go worship my God and leave.
Go back to my house.
Those things really, really, they backfire. I don't know how to explain.
It's not a plus for you.
Yes, because if you go to a church, you believe in. That's what I would say. If you don't believe in the church, you don't believe in the pastor, then don't say amen when he say prayer. Don't even stay, because you are wasting your time.
Yeah.
A church that you believe in, you should be able to get involved and play your part, bless somebody's life, be part of it. Yeah. So I was committed, and I was part of, even though it was a big church, I was doing in my own little way, I was contributing. And when pastor told me that, where have you been? A son of mine came home that I would have loved to introduce to you, but unfortunately he has gone back to Europe. Hey, when I heard that, I almost broke down, but I just comforted, I behaved. And I went. Shortly before then, my sister stays with me in Poly, and she said to me, I see you struggle because you are spoiled with, all this soft money to look after yourself, look good. I would introduce you to somebody that we are in the same department that makes bag. This is how I met Sister Vic. So my sister, younger sister, took me to Sister Vic, and I had an appointment with Sister Vic. And Sister Vic now said, when I got to her house, in fact, when I got to the house, the brothers, all of them came around her. They're like, hey, she's beautiful. Where is this one? Where has she not come last 3 weeks when our brother was around? I was hearing them and I did as if I didn't hear them. The mom came out and said, Omodada, you should have brought this one when my son was at home. I pretended as if I didn't hear. And when me and Sister Vic, we started discussing about the business, then the brothers, the two younger brothers brought their brother's picture. They brought their brother's picture and Sister Vic got angry with them. Someone has come for business. You are showing her your brother's picture. What do you want us to do with your brother's picture? Then we just continued our conversation. To cut a long story short, Sister Vic did not go straight to my business talk. She was just focusing on my finger. What is that ring doing in your hand? And I was telling her a long story. She said, to cut the long story short, she prayed with me. She saw that I was really genuinely born again, but I was still struggling with, that relationship that wasn't godly. So, and this time around, I already fought my parents as well, that I wasn't going to listen to them. I wanted to do what pleases me. I wanted to just do what I wanted. I didn't. So Sister Vic convinced me to go back home to Elisha and just meant whatever it is settle with my parents and tell them that I'm not going to go ahead with any ungodly relationship, that I'm now a Christian. So I went to Elisha, and it was our convention in Elisha. So I was having a wristwatch. I sold the wristwatch as a seed. I said, God, use this to turn my marital life around. By the way, I can sew anything. My husband, I can sew anything when it comes to, I just throw the ring, the wristwatch in I use it to pray to God. So coming back to Ibadan is when my pastor said, where have you been? Somebody came and the person has gone back. When I now came to Sister Vic, she said, don't worry, there are many men, the God will do yours. Just keep doing what you are doing. I think we need to continue the story tomorrow. It's getting interesting.
Yes,
but what I wanted to say at this point is, all the time between those 2-3 weeks that they are talking about, there was a conference in our church, singles conference. That time I had not met Sister Vic. My sister had not taken me to Sister Vic. And this man my pastor was talking about was still present in the church. He came from Europe. And that singles conference, I was there in the hall, and the brother also was there in the hall. We were both there with Sister Vic. So because I have not been speaking to Sister Vic saw me from afar in the stage, and I was like, this lady, look at her. She just looked at me, and we didn't greet each other because we didn't know each other. But their brother that came from abroad was there. So I was just imagining how, people can be in the same room, how people can be in the same bus, how people can be on the same plane. God has ordained it, but they're not meeting for one reason or the other. I want to pray for somebody. If there is somebody that you're supposed to meet as your husband or wife that are around you that you are not seeing, that one thing or the other is blocking you from seeing each other, the Lord is going to bring another opportunity for you to discover each other in the mighty name of Jesus. I'm making you to see this so that you know how it took God, how long and how far God went to bring me and my husband together. So when you are in a marriage and all those little things are bothering you or giving you a headache, is because you don't know where you are coming from, and you don't have a purposeful marriage. I feel that the fact that I committed my marriage into God's hand, and I said I want His will, and He brought the man that I see as His will, because even before I went to after I went for the business, I don't want to jump the story now, but I have prayed now that the Lord will give you another opportunity if you are listening to me, because myself and my husband did not meet on that conference. He was there in the same room I was there, but it wasn't the day. It wasn't the time, it wasn't the day. But God brought that opportunity. So he left a few days after. I also went to Elisha. I went to my way. Then when I came back is when my pastor said, one of my sons came home. I would have loved you to meet my son. Listen, the pastor has the mind of God. They have the spirit of God. It's a big church. I was only 25 or so, or 26. So I wasn't on my pastor's neck to get me husband. Yeah. So if my pastor then could remember me to feel that I am the one that suit this man, I believe this is what we are talking about, divine connection, or God is using somebody for someone, and this is matchmaking. God is the best matchmaker. So if we are talking passionately about matchmaking, this is one of the reasons. Okay. So let's continue tomorrow.
Yeah, we continue tomorrow.
So what do you want to say about you coming home? That time you came home because you left without getting what you wanted.
Yes.
So what happened?
I would say a little bit about matchmaking. You see, that's where matchmakers come in at times. I was in a place, it's as if it's off my route. There were no women around me that I want. So I was I was trapped in church work and out my home. So I didn't socialize even too much, and things were really tough. Many people are in that situation
right now,
and they are in the corner. And if there is no divine intervention, they will just be in that corner for decades because they are in a system that has pushed them to be hardworking, to be committed in church, and they are lost. And there is no space for socializing and knowing someone, meeting someone. That is where matchmaking comes in.
Wow. So you left back to Europe, and
many times I go back
without
not finding somebody. And at the time it was becoming hopeless. Is that how I will continue year after year, year after year? So one day I just said, you know what?
Any
woman is woman. Take anyone. You see how someone can be pushed into that corner. So I just saw a lady and I just talked to the lady, and she liked the idea. Wow. And but my people were not convinced. They prayed about it. They said they don't believe God was in that relationship. And that was what strained my relationship with all of them. At that point, it was as if they are controlling my life. Why can't they just leave me alone? You see my situation.
Any relationship that you want to get into that destroys the family
other relationship,
watch
be careful.
It. Yeah,
be careful.
Watch it.
So I was in that situation. I did not communicate to them again. I don't call them. I don't write them. I was just on my own.
Okay, so that's where I came in. And from tomorrow, we're going to start the story
from that
point. How I received the revelation 3 times, same revelation, and how I shared it with my younger sister. And she said, don't tell anyone here to, let's be praying about it. And now Sister Vic and all of them came to me and said, we need to pray for our brother. Yeah. That brother we told you about that left few days before, we need to pray for him. Yeah. So we will share that tomorrow. All these stories is for us to learn from. Yeah. And I pray that the Lord will grant us wisdom, more wisdom in our marriages, and that the singles will be able to pick from this our love story. Thank you very much. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Please keep sharing, send in your questions. We want to know what's going on in your mind. What are the things that you would like to know on our journey? It's 21 years we met. And tomorrow we will also tell you how we did not cut, because it's on phone. Yeah. Not even on phone like that. Let's say on email.
No, it was
on email, more of email. We communicated and we married less than 3 weeks after. Tomorrow we tell you more about all that. God bless you
Keep
and have a
sharing, and
wonderful
God
day.
bless you. Bye.
God bless you. Bye.